Hey guys, it's Morgan. Welcome back to another weekly Shlog here at Highland Cycles in Montrose, Colorado. If you're new here, you got here because you're watching some review video or a repair video or something like that. This is our weekly shop vlog or Shlog. We are on episode 284, I think, which is a lot. And yeah, we just show you what a week in the life of a dirt bike shop in Western Colorado is. Pretty fun. We do diagnosis. Sometimes we do a tool spotlight. Sometimes we get mail time, just all kinds of things go on during these weekly Shlogs. It's just a kind of fun way for me to spend time with you guys and you guys to spend time with me. So if that sounds like fun, here we go. All right, guys, I have to thank the biggest sponsor of the channel, Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Huge shout out to those guys. They support the sport in every way you can possibly imagine. They support me incredibly well. And if you want to save money on shipping, you want to save money on parts, you want to get parts fast, all that good stuff, check the link below in the description. Use that. It makes a big difference for us. We're actually earning money. It makes a big difference. It doesn't cost you any money. You can still get your Rocky Mountain cash. You still get free shipping. You still get all that good stuff. So if you're so inclined, use that. But I have to say, please shop local first. If you've got a local shop, go in there, order the part, let them get it for you, because that's what keeps this whole world rolling, is local shops like me and your people back home. But if they don't have it and you want to order from Rocky Mountain, please do. Also, shout out to Onyx Off-Road. They've been a big sponsor of the channel. They've been helping us out a ton. You guys, right now, you can save 20% on a premium membership if you use the link in the description. And then our code, which is Highland 20 or Highland 10, I don't know. It's in the link. It's in the description below, so make sure you do that. Also, all the affiliate links down below. All those people are people I have vetted personally. They're companies that I really, truly love and use. Ben at First Track Motorsports, South Bay Motor Performance, Intech, Mr. Wolf Moose Balls, Del Saggio, XC Gear, Bulletproof Designs. It goes on and on and on. They're all amazing people. So please consider using those links. It really does help them out. It helps me out, and it helps you out. All right, enough of that. Let's get to work. First on the lift is this 2021 300 XCW. Battery keeps dying. We put a new battery in this a little bit ago, and I guess it keeps dying. The other thing is he's having problems with his tubeless system. Surprise, surprise. Not a fan, but so yeah. Anyway, let's work on the battery draw first, and then we'll move on to the tires. That's pretty simple. So first things first, it is completely dead right now. So going to hook up a charger to this battery, get some juice going to it, and then we're going to try to hunt down some sort of draw, and then we're also going to check the charging system. All right, guys, while we're waiting for that battery to charge up a little bit, and by the way, I did a little trick there. I hooked the charger up to it. It's a lithium battery. It's a Firepower from WPS. And hooked the charger up to it. It read no volts. No, it didn't do anything. The charger wouldn't even recognize it. So what I did is I took a good battery and I jumped that in parallel with the battery, and it wakes him up, and then it will take a charge. We'll see how long it lasts. I got load test and all that, but just did it with the Shore Eye too. It's pretty cool. Because those lithiums, if they die all the way, they just gone, and so you need to wake it up. And so if you put 12 volts into it while the charger's on it, a lot of times it'll save the thing. All right, so while that's going on, I'm going to check this tubeless system and see if the inner chambers are holding air. That's really, if the inner chamber little bladder is working, then a lot of times I'll just add sealant to the tire, because any number of things can cause that inner thing to leak. So that's low. All right, so it was low, but it wasn't empty. It's like 25 pounds. So Usually, if they're junk, they just go all the way flat. So, gonna let that sit. Let's check the back. All right, that one was higher than the front, so gonna give them both a little bit of time and see how that goes. And then once the battery's charged, we'll fire this thing up, see if the charging system's working. Hopefully these things hold air, the inner chambers hold air. If they do, then we'll put some orange seal. I like that orange seal or stands or whatever. Some of that latex stuff that bicyclists use works really good to seal this part of the tire. So especially if you have any inconsistency in the rim or anything like that, that's why I don't love the tubeless. If you dent your rim or something like that, or if it's got anything, dirt or whatever in there, it just won't seal right. So anyway, and also on the work order is he wanted air and oil, and that is very dirty, but it's very well oiled and there's no dirt on the intake, so good job. All right guys, we got it running with a jump starter. I don't think that battery's gonna live. We're gonna check volts DC. All right guys, it shows that it's charging 14. So I don't think there's anything wrong with the charging system. So it's got a Tusk fan on it that the controller, there it goes. It was reading just dashes. Now it's got a reading on it. I know that some of the Tusk stuff has caused, like the fan has caused some batteries to die, but that can be my only guess, is that that is what's going on here. It runs without a good battery because it's got an aftermarket capacitor, and I'm wondering, I don't think that can cause a problem. I don't think the capacitor can do that because it just stores energy. I might have to look that up, see if shorted. Although if the capacitor's no good, it wouldn't run right now. So, well, I don't know. Let's all right, guys. I'm gonna dig into this. I'll bring you back in here in a second. All right, guys. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned that sometimes we have mail time. Well, today is one of those days. I'm so excited. If you guys recognize this logo, that is the Toolbox Widget logo, and I'm really excited about what's in this box because Toolbox Widget, I love their stuff. I know that they are a sponsor of the channel, but really it's just an affiliate thing. So I only get paid if you guys buy stuff. So it's not like they're paying me to say this stuff. They did give me the stuff for free, and yes, if you buy it, I do make some money, but I really, really like it. And if you guys haven't seen it, what it looks like, I should have taken more videos of before my box, but this is my favorite drawer because screwdrivers, obviously I have a situation, I have lots of them. The drawer was always a nightmare mess, so that is sweet, and you can just boom, close it tight, hard, everything stays pretty. Then we've got all of our wrenches, and these guys are the old widgets. The little kind of have a missing tool indicator, little orange thing there, just so you know which one you're dealing with if you just have one thing out. They dovetail together. They're really great. They're magnets down. I like them a lot. They're really awesome. They make them these wide ones like this, so big fat stuff can fit in there for pliers. I'm a huge fan. And then we come up here, got more widgets here. I'm keeping these, and just, I guess this just shows, I don't know, to me, my integrity. Like, I could get more of the widgets over here for these, but these work fine. There's nothing wrong with these, so I'm keeping them. I'm not going to throw them away just because I have a new setup. But I did not have a setup for all this other stuff, and these things are sweet. And now I do need to get the little stems that come out and tell you what sizes these are, because this is kind of annoying, because like these, you can see have the sizes. These don't, but they have the hole in them to put those stems in there. I got to do that. So Anyway, I really like the widgets, and I also really like the grip mats, which are awesome, and the tool hangers, which are right here. Put nuts and bolts while you're working on a thing, and then anyway it just goes up and down, and it's just magnetized on there. Pretty sweet. But in the efforts to make their stuff absolutely the best, they've come out with new widgets. Let's take a look. All right, here they are, guys. So, ooh, that's how good the magnets are. I can't get that out. There we go. So these now, guys, are rubber. So they flex more. They've also changed some stuff about the dovetailing to make them a better thing to produce. And then they also changed the way the magnets go in the back, because some of the other ones were having problems with the magnets coming out. These ones will not come out. And probably the coolest thing is that they're pretty much unbreakable. So really excited about that. And then they also have their own drawer liners with their logo in them. Really nice drawer liner that's sturdy enough to be a good drawer liner, but also thin enough that the magnets work through it. So super psyched, guys. I'm going to be putting all that to use here soon. Yeah, I'm a big fan of these things. If you want to buy some, there's a link in the description. You can use code Highland 10 to save 10% and get there through our link. It does help us out. I guarantee you it will help you out. I love these things. They make my toolbox so much nicer. I'm going to be actually ordering some more for myself to do my other toolbox, my little red toolbox, and then I've got their DIY setup at my house, and it's actually really good too. It's not magnetized. That's the one thing about it. It kind of, if you slam the door or the drawer, it'll kind of slide around. So the magnetized, the Pro series is definitely quite a bit nicer. So anyway, let's get back to work. All right, guys, next on the lift is the Beta from last week, the 350RR 4T Beta USA. Came through with the pump. Super excited about that. So we're going to replace the pump, and should be good to go. So this thing kind of works like an old school KTM pump as far as how it goes. This is like the outlet and controller, power, and then that's probably the pickup down there. We're going to unbolt that, unbolt this, slide it all out this side. Still falling in love with my cordless ratchet. It's interesting that they have studs on one side or two studs and two bolts. I don't know. It's weird. Wait. Look at that. Woo. We may have fixed it without it. Check that out. Why that would have come off, I don't know. But look. Little dude. Hold on. That positive wire not touching, and it's bent. Okay, why did that happen? But let's try it. I have a feeling that's going to solve our problem. So I need to figure out, make sure that doesn't happen again. This is a little bit loose, so I'm going to pinch that down. All right. Well, guys, this may be the shortest, easiest fix ever. That would be really cool. It makes you wonder, though, why did that come off after 3 hours? Like I said, it was a little bit loose, so maybe that was what was going on. I think I know why they do this. They've got little nylocks. So that's like just a kind of a belt and suspenders to make sure that doesn't come off, because I guess with just bolts, the plastic could fatigue a little bit and it'd get loose anyway. So that's pretty cool. All right, putting this back on, we're gonna try it out. Fingers crossed. I hear the pump running. there a cold start on these things? I don't see a cold start, so there we go. Sweet. That's awesome. Super happy about that. Super confused as to why that would happen afterwards. I could understand it installing it. I don't know how it would happen afterwards, but it's fixed. Crimping that down, that's going to keep that from ever coming off. So pumped about that. Really happy about that. So send the pump back to beta. That works out great. Awesome. All right, next on the lift is this KTM 250 XCF. I think it's an XC, not an SX. I don't know. It might be an SX. I don't think it ever had it. Oh, no, it did have a kickstand. So it's an XCF and was recently rebuilt by another shop and ran good. And then it started doing some real weird stuff. It would just cut out, then not have power, and not restart, then restart, and getting really weird. So he wanted me to check the valves just in case those were tight from building the motor. I checked them, they're fine, but unfortunately when I was doing that, this bolt hole stripped. That was awesome. It was already stripped. As I removed this bolt, it was hard all the way out, like all the way to the tip of the bolt. It was hard to pull, so that's junk. But then when I went to go take that cam cap off and fix it with the helicoil, this Allen right in there is stripped so bad that there's no way to take that little plug out. So I've got a Torx in there. We're gonna try to get that off, get that loose. Hopefully we can get all this apart, get that fixed, put it back together. And then I also found that this clip was broken, which is actually pretty normal. I just talked to the owner and he's pretty sure it was already broken. But when I took the seat off, I could see quite a bit of yellow. Like maybe this wasn't connected all the way, which would definitely cause the weird issues with it dying and stuff like that. So we're gonna take care of that. We're gonna take care of it not the right way. We need to just buy a new plug and rewire it, but we don't have that. We don't have time because he's racing this weekend. So we're gonna zip tie that, make sure it's good. Then also, this bike has 400 something hours on it, and he's already replaced the injector once when it did some weird stuff. So he already had one. So we got a new injector. So we're gonna put that in here too. I'm probably not going to show you every little thing, guys, just because I got to get this thing done, because I got to valve the suspension on this bike because he's also racing with us this weekend. So it's a little crazy, but I will check in and see if all the things we do fixes it. All right, guys, so this is the bolt hole that's stripped out, and I looked at these from down kind of, I was looking up like this because the bike's up in the air, and they look like they might be stripped out too because they're bigger, but on inspection there are helicoils in both of those and just not in here. So gonna helicoil that one now, and this is not probably on the other shop so much as it is a bike that's old and has been apart and together a million times to check valves and all that stuff. 400 hours is a lot of time for a bolt to go in and out and in and out. Hot, cold, all that stuff. Yeah, now theoretically, yeah, you should be able to be careful and whatever. But honestly, a lot of times I see people with torque wrenches do things like this because they torque it every time. And like these, you have to torque. The cam cap to the head, have to torque. 100% have to use a torque wrench. These guys, I don't, because they're so small. And I've seen people stripping, like they torque deep, deep, deep. Eventually it rips out. So, yeah, anyway, we're going to just drill that out, helicoil it, put it back on. Nothing fancy here, guys. I've done helicoil videos before. If you want to see another helicoil video, comment below. I can do a detailed one, but we're just going to get this done. All right, guys, so we got the 250 XCF all done. It's out here. I got to wash it real fast. Boom! There she is. And, yeah, runs great. New injector. Got that plug zip tied down nice and tight so we can race this weekend. I want to show you something that might have been causing. So I think he had two problems going on at the same time. Because when he rode it, the last time he rode it, it felt like it had no power. He's like, it just doesn't feel like it had power. Wouldn't go up hills very good. He just had to clutch it and all of that. And I think that probably had to do with the injector. And then I think the just cutting out and dying, just like, I mean, it was like someone hit the kill switch. I think it had to do with the fact that they didn't have that connector all the way tight in the fuel tank, or in the, you know, the power for the fuel pump. I don't think it was tight. So, but check this out. Like, focus. There we go. So see that O-ring? It's like pinched weird. I think that was probably causing the problem with the injector. I'm going to send this injector to Takamoto and get him to check this one too, and see if this injector is bad, if he can repair it, or if it was just this O-ring. So there we go, guys. We're learning every day here at Highland Cycles. But it runs great. I rode it around till it was nice and hot. Yeah, it runs just like it's supposed to. Next on the lift is actually this lovely, super duper shiny 300 that we are doing full revalve suspension. So we're going to yank that shock off, yank the forks off. We're going to valve that stuff. Full TBT, love. It's got the Explorer forks. So we're going to add adjustable base valves on the bottom. We're going to leave the upper part on the left side a high-speed compression valve. The right side will be, on the top will be the rebound, so control the mid-speed valve, revalve the mid-speed valve, and all that good stuff. It's a really good setup. You can turn them both like into open chambers and put mid-speed valves in both of them, and that is also a very good setup, and we have settings for that too. This saves a little bit of money, and I think it works really well. It's what I had on my 18300 XCW, and I really, really liked it. So, all right, guys, so next on the lift is actually my tire, and I just want to touch base real fast. Actually, that's the next page job, the YZ250X, and we'll get there. But installing some moose balls on a new tire for the weekend to go race down in Natarita, and I just wanted to talk about, I get lots of questions on how many balls do I use, so many jokes. Anyway, I don't know how many balls this is. We could count this, but that's not the point. The point is I run them so they're all touching like that, right? So there's nothing, no gaps or anything like that. That's how I run them. I just keep going until there's no gaps, and if there's like a little tiny gap, then I just leave it. If it's almost the size of a whole nother ball, then I'll put it in there, because the idea that you can adjust pressure feel on these is a bit untrue. You can adjust it a little bit. You can take one out, you can add one in, you can jam another one in, but the reality is I really don't like putting a whole bunch of extra balls, or I don't like leaving, excuse me, a bunch of gaps, because if you like took every other one out, that would seem like, oh, okay, great, it'll be softer. It will, but the problem is they move. They move around, they squish out of the way, and you end up with voids. It doesn't work. Their marketing about that is, it's not untrue, because they're not telling you exactly how to do it, and they're not saying you can leave a whole bunch out, but it's a little bit misleading. You really can't do that. The thing is, for hair scrambly, trail ridey, kind of stuff like this, these are the best setup ever I've ever used. They're amazing. For hard enduro, I don't think they are. Now, I tried drilling them that one time for the Silver Kings. That didn't work that great. I might try drilling them again in a different way to try to run some hard enduro stuff on them. But the reality is there are better setups for hard enduro. The stuff I've been testing that I can't really talk about, that is the best setup for hard enduro. That and the Tax Pro Moose thing, like Tax Protector. Anyway, that half moose deal, that is the setup for hard enduro, in my opinion. Or a really, really soft drilled out moose with a whole bunch of rim locks. These are, in my opinion, just not the best for hard enduro. I know Cody Webb's running them, all that stuff. He must have them drilled. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing, but for a normal person, I think these are the best setup for doing trail rides, racing desert, racing hair scrambles, enduros, things like that. But if you want hard enduro, there's a better setup. So anyway, I'm gonna mount this thing up. I gotta get this thing done and get on to actual work. All right, guys, we are back at the shops, and sorry, I'm a little scattered here because last night was Thursday night ride. I rode the beta. It worked great, by the way, if you guys are paying attention to that whole saga. Ran good. I think the main jet seems like just right on the very top of the throttle, which is where the main jet comes in the most. might be a little rich. Shouldn't be rich enough to foul a plug or 2 plugs, I don't think. Watch that video, the last Thursday Night Ride video. You'll hear it, and I mean, it really ran pretty darn good. But again, I find it weird that it fouled a plug. I think it has to do with the crashing and laying on the ground too much with the bike flooding. I think that's what did it, with the bike already hot. And then anyway, I think that's what did it. I can't wait to get the single plug head in there so I can hopefully change plugs on the trail. Also carry 1 or 2 plugs that cover all 2 strokes. But I've also ruffled a lot of feathers with the whole beta situation because people are angry that I don't like betas. But I just want to clear that up. It's not that I don't like them. I just like this bike better. But here we are with this bike on the lift, getting ready to go racing. I've got new tires on and all that stuff. Getting ready, I was putting the front wheel on. I was spinning the wheel and grabbing the front brake to align the forks. And look at that. You guys can see, there you go. Blown out brake line from KTM's factory routing. Right in there, in the channel it's supposed to go in. We're right through that sucker. So they all break, guys. They all break. The beta and me aren't the best of friends because I just don't like it as much. But that doesn't mean I don't like it. I just don't like it as much. So, and will I buy another one? Probably not. But, that's why they make lots of different bikes. That's why there are multiple manufacturers. Anyway, I got to fix this thing. Fortunately, I have a brake line in the shop. So we're going to yank this thing off, put a new brake line on it, get it bled, and get it loaded up to go racing. All right, guys. I got the 250X all done. I'm sorry I didn't film anything. It wasn't very interesting. Just some new tires, front and rear, some functional bling, I like to call it. So new brake pedal, new brake lever, new clutch lever. Definitely functional bling. They're nice. They're breakaway, but they are also shiny and pretty, which is awesome. And then we did an oil change and an air filter. I had to put a new air filter in it because I found this. I started to oil this air filter, you can see, and it has this whole, I don't know what happened there. Almost looks like something ate it. So got that out of there, put a new twin air filter in it. It's all good to go. But another meal time, guys. It's been a big week, lots of meal time. So I got to show you guys something. I'm super, super excited about this. I have been wanting to try out these goggles for a long time now, and I finally pulled the trigger. I got a set. I'm super excited. Let me grab here. I don't want to get them all dirty before I even use them. Boom! Wreak havoc. These are the Havoc Infinities. These things are super cool. I'm sure you guys have seen stuff online. I've got a few friends that have them, and that's what made me go ahead and just go forward with it because these things are so cool. 100% kind of upped the game when they came out with the Armegas and the ability to swap those lenses relatively fast. These things are next level fast. So they're magnetic. I'm going to try not to mess things up here. Boom. Come off. Go on. Super rad. It's got a tear off on it just to keep you from messing it up. I love the Stars and Stripes strap, which is super, super cool. They're really cool company too. You can go on their website and customize it. You can put whatever lens, whatever straps, whatever frame you want on it. Yeah, they're really cool. It looks like you can change straps. Super cool. I also got a set of clear lenses, so I think one's going to be one of the things that I'm really going to like about this is going to be able to run these during the day, and then as we go into the evening, especially this time of year, we ride Thursday nights, we ride into the evenings, we got helmet lights and stuff like that, be able to take the tinted lenses off and put the clear lenses on. So stay tuned, guys. Full review of these things coming. I'm going to film a bunch of stuff about them. Also going to be trying out the Goggle Zone films on them to see if they fit. I think they're going to, just looking at them. So really, really excited about those goggles. I've been looking at them now for quite a while. Super psyched to try them out. All right, guys, that's going to be the end of the week, the end of the Shlog. I'm going to leave you with a frustrated Zach Sheets trying to figure out what the heck is going on with that KTM over there, doing some weird stuff. It sparks for like a few seconds, and then it stops sparking. So we're digging into it. We're trying to figure it out. Stay tuned. I will get you an answer next week at the Shlog. So make sure you subscribe, hit the little notification bell, all that good YouTube stuff. Use the links that are in the description. Tell your friends about this. Don't be offended when I upset you. All those things. Just get out, have fun, ride your dirt bike, and yeah, stick with it or come back for the next one. I hope to see you soon.